As a man, going on your first date can be tricky. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're at a speed dating event or having a coffee at your local cafe, it's your big shot to impress your partner and for that partner to impress you in return. Hence, dates, especially first dates, usually feel like awkward moments, where two partners judge the other person with the person's every word, action, and inaction. Besides, who hasn't got a bad date story these days? For any man trying and failing to get his head around dating apps or online dating, these constant nightmare scenarios can feel like a sick joke or like some evil witch is playing on you. We have decided to examine 15 things we consider to be the biggest date faux pas. In other words, these are the 15 things you should never do on a date. Without much further ado, let's delve straight into it. 15. Don't talk about yourself endlessly. It's a common piece of advice, but an important one. You don't want your partner to think that you're only interested in yourself. Demonstrate how eager you are to get to know them by asking about their hobbies, what they like to eat, where they like to travel, and what they are looking for out of the date. But remember to keep this light. No one wants to know that you've picked out the names of your dozen children. The key here is moderation. Feel free to talk to your partner about yourself, but don't overdo it. Women are generally attracted to men who say less than necessary. So always allow your female partner to do most of the talking, while you do most of the listening during dates. While your date might be impressed if you climbed Everest and saved starving Africans whilst also making millions on the stock market, she won't care at all if that's all she hears about. Be bashful and save some trump cards for dates further down the line. 14. Don't quiz your partner. It's easy to fall into the trap of asking your partner lots of questions so that it won't seem like you're only interested in talking about yourself. But you don't want to make it seem like you're interrogating them. Make sure they get a chance to steer the conversation and to find out what they want to about you. 13. Don't have your phone on the table. Most people are rather too attached to their phones. Try not to put your phone on the table. It will be too tempting to look at it. Don't scroll through your social media. You don't want your date to think that they're boring or unappealing and that a recent post on Facebook or WhatsApp is more important than them. Texting, taking calls, sending Snapchats, or even scrolling through your phone, just put it away while on a date. 12. Don't talk about your ex. Like bumholes, everyone's got them. But refrain from blathering on about them, though, as it causes your partner to be on edge. If you chomp on about how awful your ex was, it screams, not over them. And if you're bigging them up, it's like, get back with them then. Now, sometimes this may slip out if you are asked a question about your last holiday or some other similar questions, and that's okay. What you don't want to do is talk about them repetitively. Your date may feel that you're still in love with your ex and that this date is just a rebound for you. This is perhaps the biggest no-no of all dating rules. No one wants to hear about the love of your life or the one that got away. 11. Don't avoid eye contact. If you're looking at anything but your partner or, heaven forbid, another person during a date, you will surely seem like you aren't interested in your partner. Try as much as possible to maintain eye contact with your partner to show your attention and that you're enjoying the conversations. 10. Don't drink too much alcohol. Yes, 1 or 2 glasses of beer may relax you, and that's great. But it is also worthy of note that most people, both men and women, aren't at their best when they're drunk. Know your limits and show your partner your great personality while sober. Drinking too much alcohol while on a date poses the risk of causing you to say or do things that you will surely regret when you've sobered up. Getting drunk on a date is not the least attractive, and there is no way she will be impressed by you knocking over glasses or slurring your words. 9. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. The world is filled with singles, so if you haven't met the one, don't worry. Maybe you will make a new friend or find out what you could do to make things go better on another date. Don't look at it as your last chance. Instead, know that there are other opportunities out there if the particular date doesn't go well. So try your very best to relax while on a date. 8. Never try to be someone else. You should always try to put your best foot forward while on a date, as teachers like to say, but make sure that you are still true to yourself. There's nothing wrong with being open to new experiences, but don't agree that you love 10-mile hikes at 6 a.m. if you don't surface before lunch on a Sunday. Your partner will surely soon find out that you weren't telling them the truth, and it's better to start as you mean to go on with honesty. 7. Don't talk about religion or politics or work. It may be that you only want to marry someone of a certain religion, so it may make sense to mention what faith you follow, but generally, these subjects can be contentious, and it would be better not to start a debate with your date so soon. Eventually, you will probably move on to these subjects, but not necessarily on a date. In the same vein, don't talk about work. Your job may be super exciting, and if it is, that's great. Do talk about it, but your date would like to know more about your personality and interests. Tell them what you like to do in your spare time, where you are planning to travel or have traveled, and your favorite meals or types of food, and not necessarily about your work. 6. Do not eat anything sticky or smelly and keep smoking to the barest minimum. If the food is too sticky, you can't shake hands or hug later. And as for the smell, sitting opposite someone who smells of garlic and ginger, among other strong-smelling spices, could be a little off-putting. Likewise, there's no point in wearing expensive perfume or aftershave if you are going to cover it up with an UD ashtray, if you know what I mean. 5. Don't offer unwanted life advice. There are several dudes out there who will either try to mansplain their career to you or patronizingly offer advice for your life in general. To avoid royally peeing off your date, keep your unwanted advice to yourself unless she asks for it. 4. Don't arrive late. As a gentleman, if you arrive late on a date, you have just fallen at the very first hurdle, and you will have some serious makeup to do henceforth. There's nothing as frustrating to women as to keep waiting for their dates to arrive at the prearranged venue of the date, so always stick to the agreed time and be punctual during dates. 3. Never be rude to the staff. Wherever you have a date, the worst thing you can do as a man is act like a total D-bag to the staff that works at the place. Never make the mistake of thinking that being rude to staff makes you look authoritative and confident. The truth is that it doesn't. It makes you look like a douche. 2. Don't be distracted. Not listening to your date when she's speaking, looking over her shoulder, or even blatantly checking out other girls. None of this will get you a second date, trust us. So always try your very best to make sure that you aren't showing your partner any obvious sign of being distracted while on a date, especially when she's speaking. 1. We know that this one will sound controversial. Perhaps that's why we saved it for last. But as a gentleman, don't make your woman pay for the date's expenses. If the date was your suggestion, that is, if you were the one who asked her out. If you asked her out, then either you pay or you go Dutch, but never make her pay. As a man, the most important thing while on a date with your partner is to always try to be relaxed, enjoy yourself, and just generally be yourself. Don't overdo anything. Let moderation be your watchword. Always bear in mind that your partner is watching and subconsciously judging you by your every word, action, and inaction. We wish you the very best of dates always. If you enjoyed watching this interesting video, then don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to our amazing channel for more informative and captivating videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.